Three, two, one. Welcome to Frontline Manor. I am your host, Kevin Stewart, Mr. Do Right. If you did not know, and as you know, it's the second Monday of the month. So I have my friend, buddy, and mayor, Dr. Christopher Harvey, is in the house.
How y'all doing? How you doing?
Yes, and we're going to talk about all things Manor today.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with what we're going to start with today. I know what I'm going to start with.
You got your usual. You got to start with it.
Oh yeah, he's holding me responsible now. We're going to talk about the 1%.
The 1%.
Anything new with the 1%? Anything come up with that? Do y'all know what we're talking about?
You want to explain to me?
Well, let me see if I remember, so I don't forget. 1%. 1% of sales tax in Manor city limits, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Goes to Capital Metro Bus. And that's to pay for the express shuttle and the little shuttle service that we have in town.
Mm-hmm.
Back when that was passed, that was what, in
1985?
85? And back then they had, what, maybe 5,000 people in Manor?
Less than 1,000.
Oh, less than 1,000. And so it made sense. It was not a lot of money passing hands in Manor, Texas. And so it was a good compromise. The city got more than what they were putting into it. Fast forward to 2025, we have a little bit more than 1,000 people here.
Mm-hmm.
And with all the advancements and companies moving in, that's a lot of sales tax moving hands now. So that's a lot of money in that 1%. And you hear 1%. 1% doesn't sound like a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But what's 1% of $1 million? That's a lot of money. You wouldn't turn that money down. Now, I'm sure there's more than $1 million passing hands in Manor a day. So imagine that in 12 months. That's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And that's money that's not going to Manor.
Yeah.
For a product that we're not getting a whole lot of use out of.
Yeah. Well,
I hope I put that.
Yeah, that's
like
good.
You would.
That's good.
You're rubbing off on me.
You're getting good. You're getting good. So the gist of it is not an anti-metro thing.
Right.
Love metro, rode metro all my life growing up. It's more so about paying for the service that we have, and then using the rest of the money to cover the things that the people are asking for.
Right.
And so, again, we've been asked when we ran to get on into council, people have asked for us to deliver certain things and to lower costs and to bring more things into the city. To do that stuff and at a faster pace, you have to have full access to your wallet. We do not. So in 1985, when we made that vote, as you stated, we were giving, we were saying, hey, Metro, we're small, whatever you can do, thank you. Now we actually make way more money from sales tax than the cost of service. To be exact, we probably make a couple of $1 million over the cost of service. And so what's happening is we're giving them money to cover the cost of service. They're also keeping the extra money. The extra money is going to the service needs of the city of Austin. And so I don't know any Manor resident that has ever expressed to me in person on social media, hey, Mayor, can we look at opportunities to give our money to another city? So that being said, for me, what they have asked for is how can we expedite roads? How can we get some more parks here quicker? How can we expedite master plans for more park stuff happening across the board? How can we, create spaces for small businesses? Well, the typical way all those things happen in the city is through an economic development corporation. And that's a 4A or 4B economic development corporation. We call them EDCs. All the EDCs are funded by your sales taxes.
Okay.
But when you give so much of your sales taxes away to just one entity, remember we're giving that 1% to we're giving that money to one entity for one thing, transportation. When you lock it in like that, then you can't use that money. That money is gone. Well, when we don't even see it, it goes sales taxes gets collected, and then it gets distributed, and that money it don't come through our account and nothing. It goes straight to them. What we're saying is, voters, please help us fix this so that we can do more of what you're asking us to do. They're asking us to fix roads. We're already fixing roads. We're fixing time. Can we fix more roads? Absolutely, but we need access to those sales tax dollars.
Right.
Can we own more land so that we can put up business spaces at an affordable space? Absolutely, but we need our sales taxes to do that. Can we do put in more infrastructure for single family homes so that we can lower the cost of single families? Absolutely, but we need the sales tax so we can do those things. And so there's a way, if all parties and all key stakeholders, which is the city, the voters, and Capital Metro, we can all choose to do what's right for the future of the city, which is to exit out of the current deal, do a new deal where we pay them for the exact cost of service, and then use the remaining dollars for the things that the public is asking for. Now, here's the beauty about that plan is when you take that money and you build roads and you do economic development and you do parks, your area becomes more desirable. And you also have more places that you need public transportation to. And so it works hand in hand. So you're going to build a city that thrives off of being able to walk, bike, commute, drive your vehicle, at trails and buses, and everybody wins in that situation. When you don't have those dollars to build that type of situation, you have angry people who are tired of waiting, and you have money that continues to go. Now, on top of all that, the worst part about this is in this current deal, they're able to give us the debt for the city of Austin to pay. The larger our city gets, the more of the city of Austin debt we can be assigned.
Wow. So,
which is why they said the last time we tried to, when we voted to exit out of the 85 deal, they said we would have to pay, I think, $8 million to get out, because that's our portion of Austin's debt we would need to pay.
Well, why are we assigned a portion?
Because we're in the 1985 deal.
Really?
The deal was done, and then lobbying and different things took place after that. And that's why all the other cities got out years ago. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, I don't know what was going on, but the residents and the council in between the 90s and to now, didn't want to get out.
Okay.
Or didn't know what was going on. I don't know what the reason. All I know is we are aware of the needs, and we tried to find out how we could pay for the needs, and we found out the way to do it is through these dollars in this manner, and we try to find out, okay, well, where are those dollars? And then we found out the dollars were tied up. And then we found out from talking to all the cities around us, they exited out of that deal because it wasn't helpful for where they were going. And so when people look and ask, well, why don't we have this like that city or that city or that city? They exited the deal, took their money, put it in the EDC, and boom.
So how much money are we talking about?
It could be, well, with the investments that we've been, the growth that we happen now and stuff, it could be anywhere from 3 to 5,000 in the next few years, a year. Sorry, but I said 5,000.
Yeah.
3 to 5 million. My bad.
Okay, I was like, well, that don't sound bad at all.
Yeah, no, 3 to 5 million.
Gotcha.
And here's the thing: the better the stores and the developments do, the more that's going to come. So you just think about, the one corner Manor crossings, that's going to generate millions of dollars. That's going to be going in that particular case. When we do the other corners and the 80 acres and the 230 acres that we're talking about, it could easily be, I don't know, 10 million.
Wow.
A year.
That's 10 million a year. Okay, speaking of $10 million a year, how many water towers can we get and have them painted? With $10 million a year, though. I don't know. What you're saying is making sense.
Yeah. Water towers and painting, I don't know, what's that, $100,000 times 10 million divided into 10 million?
That's a lot of water towers.
Yeah.
We have some good water pressure around here.
No. Well, the water towers come into play as a solution. Like we have a water tower project or some above ground tanks that we're doing that we got $850,000 from Congressman Kassar. And that $850,000 allowed us to do some water things in that particular area, but also to help with pressurization. And so that, there's some people in some areas that have low water pressure. And so us doing that allows for the pressure to go a little bit higher. And then when we get dollars like that, we can actually create redundancies. So when some of the old water systems that people are on start to fail, we can quickly push out, the bad water, get the pressure going and fix the pipes and go from there. And so those are things we're trying to do right now. The city had a lot of bad infrastructure, and so we're having to create infrastructure and replace bad infrastructure from a long time ago. And so I know that there's a lot of impatience, but I don't, and we have to do a better job of communicating how much work we're doing. And so that's why you're seeing the rebranding, or the new website. That's why you're seeing a new website, so that we can have the actual capacity to start posting more documents and heavier or thicker files about kind of the work that we're doing, because our old system wouldn't be able to hold that much data. So we've upgraded the system, we upgraded the website for those things, so that we can actually start communicating those things more. We have our new marketing coordinator who's going to start pushing out updates. Hopefully at some point in time, we're going to transition to a weekly thing where she's giving information about what's happening in the city, what the council meeting was talking about, all that kind of stuff. And again, all of that is so that people know how much is actually being done. I think people, and it's not that people are going to be watching and reading on a regular basis,
right?
But it's so for that day that they decide to go look, it's there.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's there. And so I think that's going to help kind of change for those that do want to know. They genuinely want to know what's going on, and why haven't this happened? Why haven't that happened? We have a lot of stuff that's archived on the city website for our city council agendas. It has the agendas, it has the packets, then also has the video of the meeting. Then we have all the videos that we've done, because we've covered almost every topic.
Yeah, we talked about a lot.
We've covered every topic from what we talked about in council, and also what's been on Facebook. So we have that archive of information. So I think people that really want to know stuff, they can find every answer that they're looking for. Pretty much every answer that people are asking question that people are asking on Facebook is already been answered. Right. It's just now, how do we help them get to those answers, to the answers, and help for new people that move in to know to go check this website, check this YouTube page, because all those answers are already been, if we've already asked and those answers are already been answered.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So let's ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
I like it myself.
Mm-hmm.
MVP4.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that real quick.
So, because that can be a long conversation. So let me talk to you about why we did branding.
Okay.
We had an executive from, a pretty well-respected economic development team in the state that was looking for a place to live.
Mhm.
And in 2019, came through our city and passed. When I got on council, we went to different leading economic development entities just to kind of learn how to make our city vibrant, how to move forward to solve some of the problems. The specific problem I was looking for was money so that we could build some things out here.
Okay.
And so she just disclosed, when we went to her office, she disclosed, hey, by the way, I was thinking about living in Manor. But when I came in, I looked at your website, I looked at your branding and your signage. It looked like this was a city that was dying and was not heading in any direction. And so this was not where I was going to make an investment. Okay, so from that point, we have spent a lot of time learning, what do we need to do? How do we do different? There's a lot of things that we need to fix. One, we worked on a comprehensive plan, got the plan done. Now we have a guiding document about where things need to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's a living document, so as new opportunities come, we can always change it and adapt. But that gives us a direction for the next 30 years to 2050. Then we build from that document parks, infrastructure, utilities, housing, employment, retail, all that kind of stuff now builds around that
Right.
document, and we adjust on the way. But typically, cities do 15, 20, or 30-year city plans, and then they work it all the way through with adjustments on the way, and then they do another one.
Okay.
And so we're on our first ever comprehensive plans that I'm aware of, and we're working through that plan. So as we're doing that, there's milestones of different things and tasks that we should be doing in the first few years.
Right.
One of those things is rebranding your city based off of your vision. So we spent some time to cast a vision, and now that we have the vision, now we're rebranding so that people understand the key things about Manor. What's our identity? What they want? What do we want people to know about Manor?
Right.
And so, as a city that right now does not have any major, we don't have a sports team.
Right.
We don't have. We have some great history here, but we don't have anything that's new and modern for people to come out here towards. That stands out. So we talked about, well, what are our strengths? And we believe that, the relationships, the people, and the partnerships and our principles are what make us different from other places. And here's the test to that, or here's the proof in that. Everything that happened on 290 and 973.
Okay.
If you ask the construction workers, if you ask all the business people that were behind that, they would tell you they've never seen that happen that fast before. Never. And they've been doing that. Those construction companies, Flint Construction, HB, they've been doing this work for years, decades. He says, well, what's different about here? I said, well, Manor, they came to us, they talked about their belief about the people, what the people needed, and they were principled in how they chose to approach us and what was going to be allowed and not allowed. We had key principles and all that other things built around those things. And so we have values, and a lot of it's faith driven values, but we said we're going to be about people. And that's going to be our number one thing that we're going to focus on. And though it's not fully evident in all of our areas, you cast your vision, then you work to make that evident in all of your areas. And so 290 and 973, all those businesses over there, is about our decision to do what's right for people. That economic development square is funding and will fund for many years to come programs that are going to benefit the city of Manor. And we won't even, we're growing and doing well each year financially. We're doing well with that. But the full impact of those incentives, when those kick in, it's going to just, we'll be coasting and doing well, and then boom, we're going to feel that. So we chose to take those things down the line where we could still build and navigate some things right now without that full impact coming onto our roads right now. And so we've and because of that, the city, we know for a fact the city is going to be good financially down the road.
Okay.
And I think that's been part of, talking about what's best for the people. Do you get your money up front and then not have anything later down the line? Or do you do what you need to do now so that your next generation, your next leaders, your next group of children and seniors have resources that are going to kick in when that major group moves from the 20s and the 30s and the 40s and the 50s to the 60s, the 70s and 80s. That large group moves up, there's going to be a big bump of income that's going to come to the city. So whoever's running the city at that time will be able to take care of their needs. They won't have to go and look and figure it out. They're going to get that. So we focused and we did what we need to do to make sure we took care of people today and tomorrow.
Okay. And so you started on marketing.
Yes.
So
let me get back to it. My bad. Yeah, I got all. So that's all part of the comprehensive plan. That's that corner. How we're able to do those things, and that's kind of the what I was leaning into is kind of the MVP part.
Mm-hmm.
So two things together. How people see your city determines how they're going to invest in your city. And I give you, and so marketing and branding says that we arrived, we're here. It lets investors know that you're paying attention to the details.
Right.
It's like when you're looking for a car or a house or different things, and someone is a realtor showing you different things, and you go in there, and whoever didn't clean up well, you pay attention to the details. And so we're paying attention to those details, and we're making sure that all the things that investors and brokers and developers and employers, all those things that they're looking for before they make an investment, we're trying to make sure that those things are nice and ready to go. So you have to have branding, you have to have marketing, you have to show everyone that you're a city that's on the move. Let me give you an example of how that's changed. In the past, we were having to heavily court people just to come see the city. And not like just come look, right. Please, whatever we gotta do, please just come look. Now people are coming
without even being invited. Okay.
And part of it is the branding and the marketing that we're putting out there. And so like there's a lot of people that say they like the videos. There's a lot of people that said they didn't like the videos. But the people that are noticing it are making calls. Hey, aren't y'all? What part of Central Texas are y'all in? Y'all on 290. Hey, we were thinking about going into Austin. Can we come out and visit, see the city, and do this? Now people are reaching out to us.
That's good.
And it's all about the marketing. It's all about the branding. It's all about, the new face of our website and the work that we're not finished. Right. So anyone thinks they're saying that we're at a good place. We're not. We have a lot more work to do, but we're way better than what we used to be. And so that marketing and branding opens doors. It's the difference between the checker box Oreos in the grocery store and the actual Oreo package. So I mean, that's I don't know if they have understand that one, but I remember being on the east side of Austin, and there was a small at the bottom of the rack. There was a rectangle box. It was checkered.
I never seen that, but I know exactly what you're talking about. It
said assorted cookies. And all I know is as a kid, I didn't want anything that was in a black and white box because you open up, you didn't know what you was going to get.
Right.
But I knew what those were. I knew those were Oreos.
Right.
I knew those were lemon cookies. I seen them too. It was branded. And so I had a desire for what I saw.
You see the packaging.
The packaging looked right.
The colors and everything else.
So I want, even though they could have came from the same factory.
Right.
I was willing to pay more and do what I need to do to get that because of the marketing branding. And that's, you have a city that's not marketing and branding well is going to be the checker box cookies on the bottom of the floor.
So y'all started implementing your marketing plan. Is it done, or you still have more?
No, we got a lot to work with. We got a lot to go.
Okay.
This is all, I mean, sometimes and this is what I've learned being in local government. I wanted things to move as quickly as I'm able to do things at my job or at my house.
Okay.
And local government does not work like that. The amount of stuff we have been able to do in a short period of time is probably the equivalent of maybe 7 to 10 years of work that we've done in 3. And I think because of that, there is a desire or an expectation for us to be able to continue to do that, or because maybe people don't understand the time frames, to do things even quicker than that. Like that, so 3 years took too long. For yourselves. Well, I don't even know if we set the bar high, because I don't think anybody knows the bar.
Okay.
We know it.
Yeah.
We know it because we've done the work, and because the people have told us. Like when there was a lot of opposition, there's people that told us, you're not going to get this done that quickly. It's impossible. And then there's people that say, I don't know how y'all got that done that quickly, because it's impossible. So we know that there's a bar somewhere.
Right.
And then when we look at just the legal processes, right, when you're looking at, how long it takes for lawyers to look through deals and do paperwork and stuff like that, sometimes that adds 6 months to a year just going through the deals.
Wow.
And so things we're ready to move on like this, paperwork has to be done. And then legislative changes. When the legislator kicks in and puts a cap here or a cap there, gives us those much needed, what is it called? Those home, I can't even think of the word, homestead exemptions.
Okay.
When they raise those homestead exemptions, and then money drops here and drops there because of those homestead exemptions, all that kind of stuff. And we have to go back and make sure, okay, before, we don't want to keep rushing down the same path without ensuring that these changes and these caps won't impact our bottom line. Okay. Because it's not about just making sure we can pay for something. It's making sure we can pay for it and still put away savings and have fun opportunities for emergencies. And that's I think that's tough for us. We're doing it because it's the right thing to do, but it's tough for us because it means sometimes we have to go back and double check. We have to bring in bond counsel, we have to bring in lawyers, and we have to do all this stuff to double check the numbers, because legislators still throwing out they're still throwing out rulings and stuff like that. And then when the ruling comes out and it's not fully interpreted and something we're about to do is called into question, then we have to wait and make sure it's right. And now in today's state, where so many social media complaints can turn into a trending issue, and then the governor can just chime in and say, I'm sending people to go audit you. Wow. Because we've seen that that's happening.
That happened in Elgin, didn't it?
Yeah, and so we have to now be doubly sure about the work we're doing, not because anything is wrong, but because we want to make sure that we're crossing all the I's, dotting all the T's, crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's.
Don't do that, because that's going to be bad.
Crossing all the T's and dotting the I's, and getting out there and making sure we're fully aware. And here's the thing. People ask, well, why you have to do all that? Why you can't just, because we're a small city. We're a small city that is growing fast, and it comes with aches and pains. It comes with many, many blessings, but it comes with aches and pains, because, think about it, us in this room. If opportunity came to us that was bigger than what we expected, but we needed it, we have to somehow fill the gaps for all the people that's not in this room that need to be in the room for the opportunity. And that's what the small cities are experiencing. And when small cities don't necessarily have the support of surrounding entities like they need to, then you have to figure it out on your own, which means you have to double check and triple check and make sure that you're doing it on your own, because these are new things that you have not been exposed to. And, people say what they want about those kinds of things, but until you're in that situation where you're trying to balance integrity,
Mm-hmm.
I should say balance, maintain integrity, conservative spending, and taking care of fixing things of the past, taking care of the future, and putting away for the future, and those kinds of things. Take care of the present, um, all at the same time, while navigating legislative changes, while navigating, construction here, while navigating all those kinds of things. It is not that easy, and anyone who says it is, God bless them. Because it's not. And in my role, I'm blessed to be able to have conversations with cities smaller than us, mayors, city managers, and cities larger than us, mayors and city managers. And there's nothing different from how we're approaching it to how others are approaching it. It's not an easy job, um, um, especially when you're trying to give the people what they want,
Okay.
and you're trying to do, now we can just do what some cities do and just do what we want to do, and that's a much easier task, to just say, this is what we're going to do, and people going to either love it or leave it. It's not our goal. We're actually trying to listen to people and give people what they want, and hear them out, and ensure that our decisions, because you look at our vision statement, it's talking about a sustainable future. Regional
Mm-hmm.
leader, sustainable future. Sustainable future means we have to ensure that what we're bringing in, there's a plan for the failures that could potentially happen if the market drops, inflation, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So sustainable future means we're not trying to make sure our decisions last beyond a generation, and that people can come into, leadership behind us. And money is not something to have to worry about. Infrastructure is not something to have to worry about. Land acquisition is not something to have to worry about. Water, clean water,
Mm-hmm.
in 50 years is not something they have to worry about. Do those things now, because we don't know what tomorrow holds.
Right.
And I would hope that our residents would appreciate that we're doing the hard work of yesterday, today, and tomorrow right now, because we don't know what it holds.
So you brought up. I wrote it down to make sure I didn't forget. Homestead exemption.
Hmm.
And I know that was one of the propositions that came up for vote
Hmm.
this past Tuesday.
Hmm.
I believe that went through
Hmm.
to raise the homestead exemption.
Hmm.
How will that affect Manor?
I think we'll get some valuations pretty soon. What they'll do is, comptroller work through the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll send those numbers to us to kind of show us, what kind of decreases are going to take place, because you get your valuation,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get your homestead exemption. I think it was 100,000 to 140 or something like that.
Don't get me the line.
So somewhere in there, right?
Right.
I think it was. I want to believe it was like a $40,000 increase.
Right.
So and if you can kind of picture in your head your tax form,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have kind of like all of what you're paying, and then it has the value of your house, and then it has the exemption, and then kind of then what's remained, and then that comes down to your payment. So that number go up in regards to your exemption.
Right.
So you should see a lesser amount that you're going to pay in your taxes,
Mm-hmm.
which means our budget could decrease.
Right.
But it also depends on what the county says your house value is. So
They're not going to adjust the value of the house based on the exemption, you think?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
That's a county thing. So I mean, that's people. So I mean, tax rate is a tax rate.
Right.
What the county says your house is worth is that's on them. So
For real.
So if we don't change it, we didn't change the tax rate. So if the county says, hey, last year your house was $300,000, this year your house is $350,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that home exemption is going to actually give you a raise in your taxes, because if you were $300,000 and the county says, the appraiser says your house is $350,000.
Right.
Well, if the homestead exemption went up $40,000, then I'm doing simple math. Then there's $10,000 still, because you was 300 It went up 350. You got an exemption. You got an exemption of 40,000 more than what it already was.
Right.
So basically, your house went up $10,000, which means your taxes are going to go up that equivalent.
Right. But instead of going up by 50,000, it's only going to go up by the 10,000.
Exactly.
Oh, people gonna still take that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I would take anything that's less, right? Less than what it could have been.
Right.
But
right.
I'm just, but that's how it plays out.
Right.
And let's say if it's only a $20,000 valuation increase and you get that, then they work the numbers and you might see a decrease. However, I don't know the formulas, perfectly, but
right.
that's kind of the gist of it. They value you, you get your homestead exemption, then they run that little formula and you get your taxes. And so it'll either be the same, go up a little bit, or go down. But it has nothing to do with the city tax rate. That's on the valuation.
Right. I was just thinking that if that homestead exemption, when it kicks in, that the tax money that you will receive may be lower.
If it is lower, because of how we have been doing our best to budget, I think we will still be okay. But I think we'll still be okay.
Because that's what you was planning for.
Yeah.
Just
for
life.
Yeah. Our financial advisors have a very, very, they look at our patterns and our trends, and they are very conservative in the numbers they're selecting in regards to how much they think we're going to grow annually. Very, very conservative. And so a bad year for the community around us, all the different cities, is we're probably just hitting our conservative number.
Oh, okay.
So if we don't hit our conservative number, then we're doing really well, which is why we've been able to increase more money to our street fund. Now, I tell that story all the time. When I got here, that street budget was like $160,000. And now we're at, we're spending upwards to, 750 to on a low end to a couple of $1 million on repairing streets. And so that's through a combination of different funds and tools. But we're spending way more now because we have those, because we're budgeting conservatively.
All right. We're going to shift gears here because I have to ask you this because I'm curious. I'm waiting. I want to hear the story. So recently you took a trip. You went overseas. And I'll let you tell the rest.
All right. So for a few years, we've been inquiring about joining the Central Texas delegation in regards to their efforts to recruit semiconductor and tech companies to this area.
Okay.
And so I think definitely since I've been mayor, we made a request 3 times. And this 4th time, I believe it is, we were granted opportunity to travel.
Wow. Okay.
And so myself and our economic development director got a chance to go with the Central Texas delegation, representatives from City of Austin, Manor, and then there were some counties that were represented, 5 different counties were able to attend. And so actually cities that were actually able to go, I think we were the only actual city folks that was there besides the City of Austin.
Wow, that's really good.
Well, no, I think I was only mayor, and Jones was the only, I think, city economic staff. I think there might have been some EDC folks that were there. But either way, there was some newness about our team that we went there for City of Manor. And what the opportunity was to, one, establish a relationship with key cities in South Korea that are the home bases for a lot of these tech companies, semiconductor companies that are based here in Texas and across the United States. To build a relationship with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who works with our government for policy, for visa and those kinds of things, and to tour different factories and have specific conversations about opportunities in our cities, what our cities stand for, and to pitch to them what we were looking for and the proximity of our city to other companies that they were looking to do, and also to learn from a lot of different businesses about what they were looking for and what they would like to be able to bring into the state of Texas.
Okay.
Then we went to a international Asian conference, APEC, where there was representation from pretty much every Asian country you could think of.
Okay.
They were there, economic development folks, council folks, businesses, and we got a chance to be present and we and give them a glimpse of Manor. We had translated brochures, and we had a thumb drive with all of our information, our history, contact information, available land from landowners in the area
Okay.
who were willing to partner with the city to bring those employees to the area. So they got that information. We had some giveaway things that we normally give away at our festivals. We took some of those things as gifts so they can just kind of know and appreciate our who we are as a city.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a chance to, I think, relationship build. And I say that because because our principle is people, when we were asked by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, what is the rationale and the reason behind the deals and that kind of stuff, everybody starts speaking about numbers. I spoke about people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I shared with him was the reason why we sometimes are facing what we're facing, not sometimes, the reason why we're facing what we're facing in our country in regards to some of the challenges that the people faced in Georgia from South Korea.
Oh, I know.
And just the struggles with good effective policy in general
Mm-hmm.
is because many of us that have good relationships with people from different cultures aren't in the business of making policy.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave the example of my daughter who grew up, grew up in Manor ISD, graduated from Manor ISD schools, and was afforded the opportunity to go to school with students who were here for foreign exchange programs. And she met a lot of students, and they exposed her to her culture. She gave them glimpses of her culture.
Mm-hmm.
She went down, got a bachelor's degree, and then took a job overseas. And because of that experience, I told her when she comes back, moves back here, if she were to ever get into policy, she would have a policy that's favorable of people.
Mm-hmm.
Because she has traveled the world and she knows what it's like to work with people of all ethnicities and different cultural upbringing. And I said, that's the key to long lasting economics, is the first close the gaps in us understanding each other and appreciating each other as people first.
Right.
I said, and when you can understand me and what I experienced and what I grew up with, and I can understand you, and we choose to be accepting, we choose to be understanding, and we choose to forge a relationship together. I said, business after that is easy. I said, because at that point in time, we just one situation from being family.
Right.
And I said, and if we can look at models of where these relationships already exist, there's a lot of cities in different parts of the world that are, we call them sister cities to cities in the United States. Well, the reason why those relationships exist, the majority of them are because of experiences they've taken on together.
Okay.
And the bond that they've created over time. And so they say, well, let's go into this contracted relationship where we're learning cities, we support each other, we connect over the water together. And I say there's nothing to stop the world from just becoming smaller and choosing to invest in our children. You all invest in our children. We invested in, you all send your children to learn about who we are, and we send our children to learn who you are. And I said, and then eventually they learn how to work together, play together, and live together. And so a lot of that. And
how did they respond?
Very favorably.
Okay.
Very, very favorably. And and I think got some connections to their consulate down in Houston after that. And hopefully it is going to lead to um, investments in the city of Manor that's going to allow for our young people here to be trained and skilled to have jobs right here in Manor that are high wage jobs. So it was very fruitful.
Okay.
Very fruitful.
You, well, I don't want to ask you that. I'm not going to ask you that on camera. I'll ask you that after this. Okay. So we talked about the Korea trip.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the water tower.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the 1%.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the Freedom Walk.
Okay.
How did that come about? Is that did they start it here? Were they passing through?
No, I think in at least in Central Texas, they started at the Capitol.
Okay.
And they chose their path, and their path was coming down 290, and then I think they're going to eventually start heading towards DC.
Yeah.
And so this was my first time hearing about it, and I didn't get a chance to be there on site, but I did want to send them some support. So Councilwoman Ann Weir read the proclamation and did that for me, and staff and the community members came and just kind of applauded them for the effort in regards to their walk for peace.
And who are they again?
Monks.
Not Buddhist monks. It's just monks.
Don't give me the line. I don't have it on my.
It did say Buddhist.
Yes, Buddhist monks, but I don't remember from where. But they're not from here.
Okay.
So they came to America to make the trip, and they do. I think it's like 110 days.
Wow.
110 days walk.
They're not gonna make it because they still in Texas.
No, they just started. So they got.
They started last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking on Facebook when I wrote that down, and they were saying they were still in Texas. I'm like, man, they got a long walk ahead.
Yeah, it's 110 days.
It's gonna take them a couple of days just to get across Houston.
No, they've done it before.
Oh, I believe they have. There's no doubt.
They've done it before. They've done it before.
There's no doubt they've done it before.
And
that's a lot of walking.
They don't go in. They don't go indoors. They stay outside.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think they have different protective measures of people kind of for emergency or whatever. But they go as far as they can, then they rest, do what they do to eat and stuff, and then they'll keep going.
So they don't even eat inside.
I don't know. I just know that they don't get like hotels.
Okay. That'd be a lot in hotels.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things of I'm work. Peace is so important that I'm willing to put
my comfort aside.
Yeah. To emphasize how important world peace is. And so so it was very inspiring. I talked to staff and council members that were there, and they said it was a different kind of feeling because I think they met up at the Lions Club, and I think it was the Lions Club.
I don't know. I couldn't tell where it was. I just saw the pictures after the fact.
Yeah, I should know, but I was at work, so I couldn't get away, and I wish I could have gotten there. But what I do know is they met up there, and they said the feel of the space was just different with their presence there, and so it felt, it was just a warm. I can't even think of the word. Warm, surreal, and inspirational experience. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, looking at the comments, I think there's a lot of people that's inspired by it, and I was surprised that didn't have a whole lot of people, just hating on it. Yeah. So maybe they are accomplishing the mission they're going out to do.
Well, and like I said, I appreciate it. I mean, that's I think when we can get on the same page about treating each other right, not complaining all the time.
Yeah.
And being thankful, which, it's Thanksgiving's coming up. I hope that people are, choosing to be thankful, because there's a lot of folks that are right now without.
Right.
Those families that are without SNAP and WIC and those kinds of things, and they're trying to figure out how to navigate this space. The rest of us have a lot to be thankful for. And even in our worst situations, there are spaces in the United States, there's spaces in Texas that are like third world countries.
Mm.
Um, I used to teach in Austin ISD, and we would do home visits 2 to 3 times a week to check on our kids. And right there in East Austin, there were homes that had dirt floors. That it was falling apart, and it was 2 or 3 families in there. Curtains for to separate in like a living space into different bedrooms, and our kids went. Our elementary and middle school kids. That's how they were living, and that's here in the United States. And so I don't think when they don't know how bad it can be,
Right.
then I think they
You
get
just
to a
make
space.
assumptions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I think they feel. I think things that are consistent um, become expectations,
Mm-hmm.
and when new things don't come, we have criticisms, but we don't think about how blessed we are just to have the consistency of certain things, and so like there was families out here in Manor in my first year as mayor that were using potable water. I think I said that once before on your show. They were having a company bringing potable water to their land.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 15 families, and that's how they were getting water to bathe in different things, because someone had sold them the land and promised that they was going to have electricity and all those kinds of things,
Right.
and it didn't work. They didn't do that, so they got duped into spending their life savings on this piece of land that did not have utilities, and so here they are, less than 5 miles from HEB,
Really, with no electricity, no
but living in the
water.
lowest level of poverty. And so people don't know what other people are experiencing.
Wow.
And so I think that's probably why sometimes we get a lot of complaints about the roads, about traffic, and those kinds of things, because there's the consistency in all the needs being met. And so now what is there? My needs are met. I'm used to my needs being met. So I'm going to focus on my wants. I want to get through traffic a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get here to there a lot easier. And so because I can't do that, I'm going to complain. And there's people that are just saying, I just want water. I just want to be able to flush the toilet.
Right.
Because they don't have septic. They don't have sewer, so they're out housing it. And I think when here in the store, most of the time when people talk about this stuff, we talk about third world countries.
Right. Not
it's
right
here.
Street.
This is right here.
Yeah. Yeah. I was saying assumptions because you make an assumption that everybody's living like you.
Mm-mm.
And you don't know. Everybody's struggle is different. Everybody got a struggle, but everybody's struggle is different.
Yeah.
And until you take the time and find out what somebody else's struggle is, you're going to stay in the dark.
And so that's why when I'm talking about food food insecurities, I'm talking about the folks that we know we've been working with, that we know the school district's been working with, we know nonprofits have been working with to feed them because they're struggling. And now you got in Manor alone, there's 800 individuals that now do not have a way to eat.
You said 9?
800.
800.
800 individuals that do not have a way to eat.
In our area.
In the city of Manor. In the surrounding Manor, in the 78653 zip code, in some of the other close areas, there's 3,300. So think about that. 3,300 people. That's equivalent to a concert.
Right.
Going to a concert and all these people in that concert and just imagine all those people at that concert, but take the concert away and put them all in there and they waiting for someone to give them food, breakfast, lunch, dinner for each day of the week. And
this is like children and elderly?
Mm-hmm. In Travis County, there's 86,000 people.
Wow.
And so what we've been spending time on is trying to figure out how to solve a lot of that. Work with Central Texas Food Bank to make sure that people know that November 14th there's going to be a food delivery. Talking with them that Central Texas is going to double. They're doubling their food supply for that day, but then trying to figure out how we can, as a city, just and all the community entities here, be prepared for the long haul for that. Not to mention all the federal employees that's not getting checks.
Right.
That's the snap and wick. We ain't even talking about the federal employees that's not getting paid right now.
Right.
And we don't even know what that number is.
Man.
So these are the things we're thinking about. And on top of everything we talked about earlier, we have this same concern. How do we find them? How do we connect them to resources?
So are there resources that y'all made available for these people when you do find them?
Well, part of what we're doing is anything that we get directing it to anyone, to existing things. Like I'm not going to go create a brand new food bank.
Okay.
When we have African American Youth Harvest Foundation, Eternal Faith, I think St. Magdalene, some other entities that have that. What I will do is make sure that any resources that are coming into the area, that I'm talking with those folks and making sure that they're sending resources there if they aren't already doing that.
Okay.
And so that's the conversation I've been having with Central Texas Food Bank is, hey, what do y'all got coming in? What are y'all doing? Because the area, again, 87,000 people, they're only able to come into our area once a month. So we're trying to see what this impact is going to do, because we might have to figure out something else.
All right, so I'm going to play devil's advocate real quick. So you the mayor of Manor. And it's nice that you thinking about people and stuff like that. But, I mean, what about the city? What about you focusing on that and not focusing on taking care of stuff in the city? What do you say to people like that?
I'll say we are taking care of stuff in the city.
Okay.
But if the people of Maine want us to put us to a vote and let the 800 starve, they're more welcome to start that petition. But I'm not going to let anybody starve. You tell me. I mean, that's why every November me and my family, we spend our Thanksgiving serving others on Thanksgiving Day, because everybody don't have heat, electricity to actually cook a meal. So sometimes they need someone to make them a meal and bring it to them. And we did 1,000 individuals last Thanksgiving, and right now we're already up to 500 requests. And we know that when we'll get a large list from the school district, and then we'll get some people that'll continue to apply online. And I'm sure we're going to get a lot of folks that are victims of this SNAP and WIC thing. And we'll make meals in coordination with Operation Turkey, and we'll serve people. And that's I believe in taking care of people. And so you can build roads, you can build business incubators, you can do all this stuff and make sure people eat.
Fair enough. Two things can happen at the same time. Gotcha. All right. So I think I hit all of my keynotes for tonight, except for one. Next month, Mayor's Ball going down. And I heard you gonna cut a rug.
I don't know about cutting a rug. I don't know about cutting a rug, but we're excited because this is an event is allow for people to kind of pour into the city so that we can honor residents and so that we can honor city staff. And so I'm excited that we have people that are already nominating residents and business and nonprofits for their contribution to the city. And so we'll be able to recognize and honor them for that.
I remember you had a challenge coin.
That's where the challenge coin flyer is out, and we actually had a meeting earlier today about the marketing piece, and we're going to kick that off officially in January.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll keep marketing between now and then, and that I think somewhere between now and then we'll make a couple of videos and we'll talk about more about what the challenge coin thing is about. Better Together is what it's called. And then I don't know how many of my council members are going to do it, but I'll be taking the challenge as well to model. and hopefully we get a lot of residents do it. It's 1 year to do 7 things to improve
Right.
your community.
Okay. All right. That sounded good. So,
Mhm.
what you got that you want to put out there today?
Let's see. I think the only other thing that people have been asking about is our progress on the City Hall Library
Okay.
project. And so I am working with city staff to actually get a site put up so that residents can be able to track the progress and see what's going on, and to help answer those questions, because we do need to do better with communicating what's happening on a regular basis, and really just show the timeline of why things, how long it's going to, how long things take,
Mm-hmm.
and when we expect to see the building, when the grand opening should be. So so hopefully we'll be able to get that site up so people can see, okay, this is what's supposed to happen in the rest of 25. This is what's supposed to happen in 26, and then I think we're aiming at a 27 grand opening or something like that. But putting it all in on
Okay.
paper and and those kind of things. There's also a process where we take some more input from folks, and so make sure people know when that is and how to engage so they can get their feedback on the space. So I'll say this, and this is exclusive.
You heard it here first.
So one of the biggest things we've been what we've been working on is utilizing our financial tools to see if there's a way. I think the voters gave us 90 million for the rec center and the library. And like I said, we're constantly evolving and learning and leaning on partners. And so there is a way to actually do the same thing we asked the voters for possibly up to $20 million cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
which means we put more money back into, we don't take as much money out of the bond,
Okay.
and we deliver on the same thing and the same level of expectations. And it's in the simplest form, it's leveraging um, the a development opportunity to where other things are happening around the development that help cover the cost of our development.
Kind of like how you talked about with the neighborhoods going in, and how the developers pay for basically the streets and trying
something
to,
like it's basically saying, okay, instead of looking at this 10-acre city development, let's look at 84 acres and see how we can build 84 strong acres and cover some of the costs and and decrease the amount to the residents.
all right.
And so and that's in those arrangements are called P3 developments. In those P3 developments, what they do is they allow for cities, counties, state agencies to save money on bonds, and allows the development to help cover some of those costs.
So if y'all make that P3 development happen, what would happen with the savings?
Well, we wouldn't have to spend it, and we can ask the voters if they want us to just send it back, or if they want us to do something else with it.
Okay.
So, in my mind, I've only made it as far as how can we do exactly what we asked the voters for and save money on. And so, I know there's probably a lot of things we could do with the 20 million, but at this point, my goal is to save it. Now, if the residents say, hey, can you use the 20 million to hit some roads? Can you use the 20 million to buy some more land and do another park? Whatever they ask for, or I think we should ask them and see what everyone is saying, and then check out the financial feasibility for it, and then roll with it. But at this point, I just want to make sure we deliver on what we said we want to do, and do it in a cheaper and more enhanced fashion. And so I think when we get to that space about where we're sharing images and what's going to take place, and how much more the city is about to get now, and how much less is going to cost, I think it'll be one of those things where people didn't believe we were getting HEB, until they saw it. I think we'll go through that time period on Facebook where I don't believe it. I don't believe it till I see it, blah, blah, blah. And we'll get a lot of doubt,
Mhm.
And then I think um, when it comes to fruition, um, there'll be a lot of happy people and a lot of people that will be thankful that we chose to utilize what the state of Texas gives us in these types of situations to do something for in this regard. And I think they'll be happy with the product. They'll be happy with the team that we're using. I think we need to do a job. We need to introduce who's been selected for the project. There's a lot of work we need to do on communication. And so when people are upset and they're saying, "Hey, we don't know what's going on," we have to fix that.
So you say communication, and I know you said
Mhm.
y'all just got a new marketing person.
Yes.
So the marketing person is basically going to be this communication that you speak of.
Well, it's not in these kinds of things. Communication is not limited to one person.
Okay.
Strategy and tools and resources that person creates is definitely going to be better than us doing nothing. But communication is also about council members talking to the people
Mm-hmm.
about stuff. It's also city staff understanding that they are also ambassadors of the city, regardless of your role. So when you're in the community and you're shopping, you're spending, you know, um, feeling comfortable saying, "Hey, did you know the city is doing this?" I think um, the best type of communication is word of mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and when word of mouth is spreading and people are aware, or they at least know how to tell someone where to go to find information, then I think we'll be winning. And so I think we have to figure that out for our city, because right now there's no news station and there's only Facebook,
Right.
and we have to figure out how to get people to come off of maybe certain mediums to actually go to sources so that they can do that. And then we have to do a job of working to more quickly navigate the bureaucratic process
Mm-hmm.
to get the things to the people. And so, yeah, I mean, are we moving forward towards the city hall library? Yes. Are we doing a good job of communicating it? No.
Okay.
And that's why we've hired a marketing person, and that's why we're putting some new things in place so all that can be fixed, so that we can get some of those things done. A few things can't go up there yet because we're still in negotiation.
Okay.
And those things, any conversations that's been had in executive session, I can't speak on right now. And so until those deals are signed and done, and legal is done, whatever. But what I can say is what our intentions are and what we've talked about in the workshop recently, which is that there's that potential.
Okay.
And I shouldn't say potential. I mean, that's really what we're leaning into. But until it's signed, it's potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what else you wanted to tell me
Um.
or tell us?
Let's see. Other than that, I'm sure I feel like I'm forgetting something else that's pretty big and insightful. Um, so we talked about the Better Together, our internship program. We've had about 3 or 4 people, college students, that are applying for the internship program.
Okay.
And so I'm excited about that because we're in our piloting year. And so we'll work out the next steps with them, with them going through the background check and then the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully in January, I'll be able to start 1 to 2 interns, paid, and they'll, which is basically what most colleges and universities offer in the intern, couple of $1,000 or whatever.
Right.
But they'll be able to, and depending on their professor, do some things with us and let it be a part of their class credit. But more importantly, on the job training in the areas of research, policy, community engagement, and did I missing something? Yeah, I think it's like 4 or 5 of them. So
And have you had any people come and volunteer to work in the city? I know you put it
we're,
out there several
we're
times.
still waiting on getting some more volunteers. We've
Oh,
had
okay.
a few. We got, I think we have about 4 or 5 people that's working on a charter review committee.
Right.
But we need some more. We always need more volunteers.
Okay.
And so I still say it, the best way to, before you want to run for a city council, you should definitely be involved and come learn and read and understand that it's not just about showing up one day and saying we're doing this.
Right.
Nothing works like that. If you're trying to do this for the clout or the power, you have to be able to navigate and collaborate with 6 other people. And because your vote, even my vote as mayor, is only 1. And so all 7 of us have to be on the same page for things to happen. And that's why things are happening, is because we spend the time to navigate challenges and conversations and get on the same page about the direction we're going.
Okay.
And we did that up front, which makes the work a lot easier on the back end.
Okay.
So, but volunteer, get out here, learn. This is not a after school club. I'm just keeping it real. It's not after school club, and the problems we were facing in 2019 are way smaller than what we're facing now, and lives that are dependent on it. And so, you are either going to come here and make generations lives, future generations' lives a lot easier, or you're going to come here and you're going to hurt and harm. And you have to be a people person. And if you're a person that tears down people, tears down and criticizes, if you operate in Gottman's 4 horses, look that up. You don't know if that is, look up Gottman's 4 horses. If you're operating with those types of behaviors and communication, this might not be for you.
Okay.
And because you want to get along with staff and you want to get along with your council persons, and what you end up doing is stalling the city out during your term. No progress to be made, and then the folks will be mad, and we'll miss opportunities. People will be hurt, and then your term will be up, and then we'll have to pick up the pieces and start over again.
Man.
So I'm happy if there's a group of people that want to learn, let me know. I'm happy to create some type of the more you know. Professional development ongoing, so that because I am not going to do this forever.
Right.
When the Lord said I'm done, I'm done. And I would love to be able to pour into the next leaders that really care about the city, and they really want to see the city thrive. And I'm happy to do that free of charge.
I believe you are. I definitely believe you are. Did you get out everything you wanted to get out?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, you're the hardest person for me to interview because you have so much information, and I'm sitting here trying to compile it all, and it's very hard to come back with something because you didn't hit me with so much. So that's why I'm over here so quiet. He makes it hard for me. So I'll just throw in a pitch and I just let him run all the bases and catch all the fly balls and everything else, and I just sit here and wait. All right. Another good episode. I appreciate you being here with me. Man. I love getting this information out there for everybody. I do think it's important that the information is there. So if somebody do want to find the information, there's something there for them to find. Yeah. I'll keep doing it as long as you want to do it though. It's all on you, man.
Hey, as long as we both here, we might as well keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, you come to the house, so I can't even escape. Yeah. All right. Yep. Well, we appreciate y'all watching us on Frontline Manor. Until next time, which is going to be how many weeks from now? 4 weeks
December.
From now? Yeah, we'll be here the second
Monday
in December. Mm-hmm. Oh, I better check my schedule. There's a lot going on in December.
Yeah, we got
But you know what?
we got some openings coming up too.
What you mean openings?
I think TJ Maxx is going to open
Oh
in
yeah,
a little
November
bit.
17th, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm not super excited about TJ Maxx.
my aunt is. My aunt is. She loves
She likes
Marshalls, TJ Maxx, and Ross. Yeah.
Ross. Oh
She
man,
loves all of them.
I feel like I'm a criminal every time I walk in Ross. Yeah, I know a lot of people is excited about that. I finally got a chance to go to HEB.
Mhm.
Happy. I am elated to be able to walk in HEB and see produce other than those bell peppers, those onions, those avocados, and those
Yeah.
tomatoes right there at that front door.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. They've got the best produce. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It is very nice
Yeah.
to sit up here and I can get off of work and I can just drive right over there, get me a steak or something, and pick up something really quick
Mhm.
and not have to go all the way to 35 or all the way to Elgin.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people appreciate that. And you may not hear it,
Mhm.
but I think the sentiment is out there for y'all for making that happen.
Mhm.
And I think it's just strengthening us as a city and a community to have these things and all the other things that's coming in the future. Because I foresee he ain't told me anything, but I rubbed my crystal ball and everything. I shook up my what is it called, magic 8 ball and stuff, and I believe that we're gonna have some opportunities coming to Manor that's going to make sense and it's going to be big for us, and we're going to be on the map.
Yeah.
I feel we're going to be on the map big time within the next 2 years. I see it coming. Just with the development that's going on now, it only makes sense with all the things that's happening in the area. I feel we got some things. How Sam Cooke say, change gonna come. Change gonna come. You better. Yeah. I was closing out the show and I got off on a whole other tangent. So I'm excited. And I think a lot of people in Maine are excited.
Well, I'm excited too.
Well, I hope so, man. I mean, your signature's on a lot of those papers and stuff that's happening around here. So, but I just I can't remember his name. Well, Dr. Wallace.
Mm-hmm.
I know he sat there and he helped to prime the pump to get everything going. So I mean, if it wasn't for people like y'all, I mean, we would be still sitting up here with a Sonic and a.
I got a chance to talk to him the other this week. We were at an event where we were it was celebrating 50 years of service to kids, and I reminded him and I said, not everybody would have, said what you said in regards to where we're going now. Chris Harvey is the best one for the job. I said some people would have just said, I'm not running again.
Right.
And left it out that, and I said, but you, because of who you were as a man and as a leader and because of your passion and care for the city, you wanted people to know. And I said, I appreciate that. And I said, so I always give him his flowers. The foundation in which we now govern is based off of the structures that he created and the systems that he led for us to be able to do it, the questions he asked, the challenges that he put towards council and the city. And without those things, we wouldn't be able to move past that level and work. We would have started all the way over. In that space. So I always remind him of that. And I hope the people always remember that. When nobody else was answering the phone during the winter storm, during COVID, during the second winter storm, when nobody was answering, he called people out, and then he and I and council was in the streets with the people, taking care of the people. And, so he modeled what this role needed to be like. Don't just talk, be out there in the streets with them. And so I hope that I'm doing him justice, and I hope that the people that come behind us understand that this is not about politics.
Right.
MVP4. This is about people. First P and the P's is about people. And so I hope we motivate, inspire, and encourage people that want to take care of the people of this city. Not come and push agendas, not come to be popular and famous or get a stipend or whatever the interest could be, that they come here because they legitimately want to take care of the people of the city. And it's a fast growing, it was a lot less than what it is now in the last 6 years. So
And with that said, we're gonna wish y'all a good night. We are out of here.
Yep.
Thank you for viewing us. Till next time.
Peace.